Hey ExJW, thanks again for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, my name is Riley and I'm a former Jehovah's Witness. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Nathan Haugh. Nathan is a former Jehovah's Witness who had faded from the organisation for some years before finally waking up in 2016. Before I start this interview, I just want to say that I'm very excited about this because this will be the first in a series of interviews all around the theme of art, specifically ExJWs who use their experience both in and out of the organisation within their art and part of their artistic expression. So that's going to be happening over the next few weeks. This is the first. I'm really excited about it and I hope that you will enjoy it too. Hi Nathan, how are you doing?
Doing well, Martin. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. Cool. Thank you so much for agreeing to meet with me.
Oh, my pleasure. When you asked me, I was really excited to come on. I have not done one of these in the past yet, so this is my first time coming out as an ex-Jehovah's Witness publicly.
Okay, well, that's very, very courageous of you. Thank you. All right.
My pleasure.
Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm doing a series of interviews with ExJW artists, specifically artists who incorporate their JW and ExJW experience into their artistic expression. And you're the first in the series of those interviews, so I'm really excited about this.
Well, I'm glad to see where this is going to go. I really just work with digital art, graphic art, but I know that there's so many talented people out there. There's a new one, I'll get to it later, but there's one specifically I wanted to mention. It's called accessjw.org. I don't know if you've seen that one, but
yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a new addition to our team of artists, and I'm really glad to see what he's done. So yeah, there's a lot of talent out there.
There is definitely. When I first put the call out that I wanted to speak to ExJW artists, the response was just overwhelming. It really was. Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear.
Yeah, a lot of people got in touch with me, and I've got quite a few interviews lined up, so I'm really excited. Yeah.
Well, that's great news.
Cool. So if we could just roll back a little bit, could you just tell us how you became a Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, so I'm a third generation on one side, fifth on the other. So go way back in the truth, rich spiritual heritage. So yeah, my two siblings and I, we were raised in the truth. They both went on to be more spiritual giants in our hall than I was. I was the youngest child and didn't really have too many problems growing up in the truth. I didn't really suffer any of the issues that some of the other ones have with physical and child abuse. But at 22, I ended up getting disfellowshipped, and as every ex-JW knows, that's really one of the worst things that can happen to a person, excuse me, being shunned and losing your entire social structure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know from personal experience how difficult that is. Yeah. But you eventually went back to the organisation and got reinstated.
I did. It took me 5 years. I got reinstated. I guess I would have been about 27 then. Really interesting account with my reinstatement. The circuit overseer had to get involved. One of the elders, I don't know if he was PMO, but one of the elders on my committee, this was in Philadelphia, by the way. I'm in California now, but this was in Philly. And one of the elders on my committee, he came in the middle of the night, I want to say around 2 o'clock in the morning, and slipped a note underneath the door of my apartment, and it said, it was just and I still have it somewhere too, it was just 2 or 3 sentences. And it said, don't tell anybody about this. This is so-and-so, and call me, here's my number. That's all it said. And I'm like, what? So I called him the next day, and he says, things are not being handled correctly on your committee. There's corruption, there's deceit. I can't remember the words that he spoke. My mind was just reeling. He said, you need to get the circuit overseer involved. He said, you should have been reinstated by now. Now this is this was about 4.5 years of being disfellowshipped, so this was soon before. This is actually what got me reinstated. So I did call the circuit overseer, Brother Bennett. Yeah, Bennett. And he got involved. And that elder was right. There was, I don't know whether it was nepotism or what the issues were with that elder body, but a few got deleted. One of the ones on my committee got deleted.
Wow.
For the way that they were handling my specific reinstatement. They were basically forcing me to go longer than I needed to.
Right.
I wasn't missing meetings. I mean, I was regular for more than a year. Came, sat in the back, like we all know, you don't talk to anybody. It's the most humiliating thing. Did all the things. I'm even, I got my watchtower highlighted so that they can yell, because they're looking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing all the things, right? And I still wasn't getting reinstated. So the circuit overseer got involved, and then there you go. I don't remember how soon after, but it was pretty shortly that I was reinstated. But I had thought that would fix everything. Once Jehovah's forgiven me, then surely my friends and my family will forgive me, right? I'm clean in his eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that I was damaged goods to pretty much everyone. It wasn't the same at all. So I just ended up fading, but I wasn't awake at all. It's homie, the worst of all the acronyms, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's torment, because I remember defending them. I wasn't following any of the rules at all, but someone would be like, I'd be at a bar or something, hey, they're a cult. No, they're not.
Yeah.
I just can't live up to those standards, but they're, oh man, that's cringy.
Yeah.
But,
I went through that myself as well. Shortly after I was disfellowshipped, and I remember speaking to a couple of non-witness friends, and they were trying to tell me that this whole disfellowshipping thing is just cruel and unloving, and I found myself trying to justify it to them. Yeah, I totally agree with you. The physically out, mentally in is the worst situation to be in.
Oh, it's hell. It's absolute torment, in my opinion. But thankfully we are awake now. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you wake up?
Well, I was reinstated for, I want to say 10 or 12 years. That I wasn't inactive the entire time, just towards the end. I went to different halls. I would try to rejuvenate myself.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't working. I didn't have my friends and family really like the way I used to. And I was out in Indiana too. I had moved to a different part of the country, from Philadelphia, from Pennsylvania. And I thought a fresh start would help in a new part of the country, but no, it was like the magic was gone or something. I still felt obligated to try, but it wasn't the way, it's being pony basically is bad. So it was maybe 10 or 12 years until 2016 when my brother Martin wrote an open letter to our family, the immediate. And I can still picture that email so clearly and reading it. And I turned to my wife and I said, Martin's an apostate, in shock, you know how it is. We're trained to demonize apostates. It's one thing if you fade, but if you speak out against Jehovah's organization, so I had that visceral reaction, even though I was not going to the meetings.
Yeah.
I was doing nothing for the truth in Jehovah, but I had this, my brother is betraying Jehovah? It's absurd, that reaction, but it only lasted for, a few days. I think within a week, I had Googled, he mentioned in that letter, thank goodness he did, specifics. ARC was one of them. Mm-hmm. I think that's the first thing I Googled when he mentioned child abuse, because I'm sorry that my son's in the back.
That's okay.
But as a PIMI witness, when you hear those allegations of child abuse for the first time, you're like, no, not in Jehovah's house. Those are lies. Lies. So that was my reaction as well. But once you start Googling, that's it.
That's it.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I think within 2 months, maybe 1 to 2 months, I was awake.
Wow.
After that letter.
So.
And then my wife. Yeah, go ahead.
What did that feel like?
It's everybody that's woken up can relate that the most unique experience. You're having a phase shift of your entire worldview. Like everything you knew to be true is no longer true like that. Like it's one of the most jarring psychological experiences a human being can go through. I feel like all ExJWs have lived two lives. They are that different, which is a pretty cool thing. Not many people get to experience two lives in one, but yeah, it's an amazing. I'm glad we went through it. It's like an injury setting a broken bone. It has to be done to be healed and healthy, and it's painful, but it's for the best.
Absolutely. I really resonate with that analogy. Yeah, I think you're spot on with that.
Oh, thanks.
So, when did your wife wake up?
So she was, that day I remember turning to her. My brother's an apostate. She's equally shocked, like, what? She didn't start Googling right away though, like I did. I took the lead on that, and but I showed her some things, and I knew to start with the ARC. Like that's what resonated with me, but I just knew that was the way to go. I mean, because it's not a doctrinal thing that can get complicated, and I don't fully understand it. It's basic morality.
Exactly.
Like you don't hurt children. If that doesn't wake anybody up, like I don't know. So anyway, it worked. I started with that, and I think it was we watched ARC videos, Jeffrey Jackson, and those bumbling Australian elders lie and just look like fools. Clearly, there was no spirit from Jehovah there. That was it. And she was awake pretty soon too, a month or two after me. And then her sister woke up. So there was this cascade, like domino effect of, and even before my brother, really quick, interesting on that, his wife woke up first. And the reason she woke up, you might know this if he's told you, but she woke up because of a Bible study. So my brother's wife was a regular pioneer. He was an elder. I mean, these are spiritual pillars of the congregation. And the question that the Bible study student asked, my sister-in-law could not answer. And so it's interesting how that one Bible study's question had this, trickle down effect. So yeah, my wife woke up, and then she told her sister about what was happening, the ARC. Her daughter's out. There's quite a few from that one instance.
That's great. It's great that so many of your family have come out.
You can see why David Splain's recent apostate rant, he seems so desperate and scared, because that's how it happens. It takes one person in a family, and then it is like a virus, like he said, you just affect the others.
Yeah, but a positive one. not a disease, it's a viral cure.
Yeah, it's a virus of the truth.
Exactly. Great. So, you're a graphic artist. How has your experience of being a witness and waking up and now being an ExJW, how does that figure into your artistic expression?
Yeah, so I had been a graphic artist for more than 15 years before that, and I found that to be the natural avenue to use when I was waking up to express myself. I'm a visual person. So it was therapy, it was art therapy. It was very cathartic to do these things and then to share them with the community and to see them resonate with others as they share the images too. It really made it worthwhile.
I mean, I've had a look at your Instagram profile, and my favorite pieces of yours are the ones where you have a Watchtower Awake magazine or like a convention program, and you edit it in a satirical way. Satirize those publications and the kind of things that they speak about. Could you tell us a little bit about that? What motivates you to do that?
They destroy themselves really by what they say, but they also don't quite, they use double speak. So I love to just really say what they're trying to say. Your recent video on homophobia, I had done another similar one about a 2016 Awake article that was about harnessing your habits of homosexuality is what they were referring to. I couldn't find the file, but I did a satire of that one as well, which was just I replaced it for habits with homosexuality. Yeah, so it's my favorite way to really make fun of them. It's just satire.
Yeah, yeah. And have you found that since leaving the organisation, you're able to pursue your interest in art to a much greater degree or in a more fulfilling way that you couldn't have done while you were a witness?
Yeah, good question. And I would say so, yeah. Before, I only viewed my work from a secular aspect. It was not really meaningful. It was paying the bills. I would say since waking up, I've made these pieces that are meaningful to me. I really don't make them to be popular. It's just a way to find some therapy through these images. So that's an interesting question. Yeah, I think I do view the art differently now than I did before waking up.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. And do you have any pieces that you've planned in the near future that are, that you're excited about?
Yeah, there's so many, to be honest. I had taken a break of my work, but I'm looking to get back into it. I can't think of anything specifically, but I could probably find a few pretty quickly that would be easy to satirize with.
Yeah, yeah. I like also the one with the Kool-Aid. It's like a jug of Kool-Aid, and the Kool-Aid jug is sort of like characterized like a person, and he's got the JW.org sign. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, they have in their FAQ, they even ask, are Jehovah's Witnesses a cult? And it's interesting the logical fallacies and the twisting of the words that they use when they explain how no, we're not. Where they say that we don't have a single cult leader. Yeah, they have 8. Okay, so you're just twisting words. But anyway, when I read certain things and they really trigger me, I'm like, oh no, I've got to show the truth on what you're really trying to say there. But I feel like it's hard to satire these guys, this new group. It's even cultier than when I was waking up in 2006.
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're making it. They're so. I guess they're doubling down on a lot of these things. They're so culty that they're doing a good job of exposing and making a fool of themselves.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. It's sort of like they've become a caricature of their own self. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Some people were having that same issue with Donald Trump. He was saying such over-the-top things that how do you satire that?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is exactly the same situation. Like, remember the bunker videos? I can't remember, I think that might have been the 2018 District Convention. Be Courageous.
Okay.
The Be Courageous District Convention with the bunker videos when you had these witnesses in the bunker. Waiting for like the secret police or the soldiers to come and arrest them just because they're witnesses. I mean, that was just so ridiculous. It was like a parody of what Jehovah's Witnesses believe, that you'd expect someone mocking them to produce, but this was them themselves.
It's legit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're shooting themselves in the foot. Somebody on Reddit just asked this morning, are Jehovah's Witnesses really falling apart? Are they really, it seems like people are leaving a lot, like anecdotally, but is that true? And I had listed ExJW Reddit stats. I mean, the subscribers are going like, it's really steep. Watchtower wishes they had growth like that. Yeah. And part of that reason is because they are so outlandish and over the top. I'm not going to ever stop making fun of them, but it's just making it a little bit harder. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I joined the ExJW subreddit around about June 2020, roughly. And when I joined, I don't think it was up to 60,000 members yet. Now it's over 70,000.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was in 2016 when I joined, there was, I think, 5,000.
5,000?
5.
Wow.
Yeah. What's that scripture? The small one has grown.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. I mean, it's really exciting to see. I'm sure ones that are like my cousin who's recently woken up. I'm sure that's really encouraging when you see it's not just you. You're not alone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us that are coming to the exact same realizations at the same time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Were you always artistic? Like going back to your childhood?
Yeah. I wanted to be a patron artist.
Okay.
Because that's where their art department. I guess they still have Patterson, don't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably moving art to Ramapo though when that's finished.
Yeah, maybe that makes sense.
But anyway, I always wanted to be a Bethelite and do their art. I realized when I was a teenager that being a fine artist is extremely difficult to make commercially. So then I switched to graphic art. I still like to draw, but all of my work is computer or digital art. So it still is. That's just the easiest way for me to express myself.
And being a Jehovah's Witness and having this talent for drawing, did you find that the witness lifestyle, did you find it confining, or did it oppress that talent that you had? Sorry, suppress. Did it suppress that talent that you had?
No, I mean, I knew college was out of the question, and so I didn't really know if I would end up making money off of art, up until I was in my early 20s when I started doing it. I don't know if it suppressed the art. I would say it was more, I guess you could say that because of their view on higher education. If I had gone to college, which I still have not stepped a foot inside of college, I wish I had, I would have learned things a lot quicker. I learned things by experience, making mistakes myself, and it's not the most efficient way. So absolutely, I think it holds back every artist, whether it's music, whether it's art in any form. For that one reason alone, education is so important to developing ourselves individually.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you found that your experience has affected the way that you approach raising your own children when it comes to allowing them to express themselves and develop their talents?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, for sure. As if I had been raising my 3-year-old son now as a witness, our morals would have been completely different. I don't know about morals offense. Like, he got to celebrate Christmas and his birthday, is what I'm trying to say. No longer denying attention to him. I mean, my wife and I, he's the most important thing to us. He makes us happier than anything else in the world. What is so wrong with taking one day of the year and acknowledging this is the best thing in my life?
Nothing. Nothing whatsoever.
There's nothing. So, I'm really glad we raised him out of the truth now.
Yeah.
That quote really makes me excited when I look at my son and I think about his future without it being impeded from the cult. I'm glad to have been able to work as a graphic artist, but like I say, it took me a lot longer. He'll just have a much better life than me. It's really exciting to look forward to.
That's great. And what does he think of your art?
He's just 3, but he sees me in here. He likes to watch. He likes to be like his big daddy. I hope he gets to know, but I don't really care. That's another great thing, is whatever he's into or whoever he is, whoever he identifies as, any of it is all going to be great. Accept him completely, totally, unconditionally. That's what really matters. So of course I hope he's into stuff that I'm into too, but just to see the innocence not being damaged, the purity of that not being blocked from the cruelty of the cult is just amazing.
Now that you and your family are out, I'm really, really pleased for you, for all of you, but your son in particular, now that he's free to... That's him there.
I'll be there in a minute, buddy.
It's great that he's free to develop his talents and express himself authentically in any way that he wants as he gets older. That's really great that cycle has been broken.
That's really what it's all about for me. That's my motivation. It's really my guiding light. It's seeing his future, what he'll be able to accomplish without the restrictions and the psychological damage that comes with being raised as a Jehovah's Witness. His potential, it seems unlimited. I hope he follows in my footsteps, of course, like every dad, and he's into things that I'm into, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is he gets unconditional love, no strings attached. What anybody who was raised as a witness, that's all they want from their parents, that they don't receive. So that's my greatest achievement in life, no doubt, is breaking that chain and starting a new role with him.
That's wonderful. That's great.
Yeah.
So if anyone would like to see your work, where can they go?
So I have it posted on Instagram at ExJW_designs. Most of that work is older. I'm looking to post some new things soon. That was all, like I say, art therapy that was done during that process of waking up. They were all aids or a crutch, however you want to call it. But I'm now approaching it from a different perspective of not trying to help myself initially. Now it's more of what does the community need? How can I help out for the greater good of our cause?
That's great. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to leave a link to your Instagram profile in the description, and I'm certain that a lot of my audience would love to follow you.
Oh, right on. I appreciate that. And I hope to have, like I say, some new stuff for them coming soon too.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this afternoon.
Oh, thank you, Mark, for having me on. And I really want to thank you for doing your work. You're one of the new crop, I feel like, of activists that are out there making really good content. It's a pleasure to be on here and an honor. So thank you for your work as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The pleasure's all mine. Thank you. And thank you all for watching. If you haven't already done so, please click the like button if you like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And remember to subscribe with notifications so that you'll be alerted whenever I upload a new video. Please proceed to the Jexit in an orderly fashion, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching to the very end of the video. If you haven't already done so, please like, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. If you like my work and want to help me continue doing it, please support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Jexit_2020. And with that, I'd like to sincerely thank these very special patrons who make these videos possible.